Good morning, Guardians. The Hijabi Gamer here. And yes, I'm on camera. No green screen, just early in the morning. It's Friday. Xur is in the tower. And I was able to log on to Destiny. Now, I wasn't perfect at 5 o'clock, 5:05. I had a little difficulty. But I'm on. And we're ready to go. And Xur is in the tower. How do you know this? He's marked by the stairs. Just the usual reminder, this is original Destiny, as you can see. The tower is fully intact. It's the best. I like this tower the best. Which means Xur is only in the tower for 48 hours. So right now it's about 5:40 a.m. in New Jersey on Friday. He usually arrives in New Jersey on Friday at around 5 a.m. and he leaves Sunday 5 a.m. So depending on the rest of the world, there's New Jersey time and then there's the rest of the world. Depending on where your location is, it varies, but he's only in the... So you have about... By the time I get this video uploaded, you'll only have about 47 hours to locate Xur and pick up whatever you need. Which is actually, I think it's more than Barraketeer in Warframe. Anyway, as you can see, we are in the tower, and he's got some decent stuff. I mean, if you don't have it, it's good to pick it up. But it's none of my absolute necessities. If you don't have this weapon, you have to pick it up. It's like, for example, Red Death. If you don't have Red Death... Well, he doesn't have Red Death this week, but if you don't have Red Death, you need to get Red Death. So you're heading towards the Vanguard, and yes, per tradition, I'm sorry I have to do this. Step on the table. It's just it's a Destiny 1 thing, okay? You gotta do it. Anyway, he's over here by what looks like a fancy copy machine. It's not a copy machine. I think it's some kind of power thing, because I don't see any spots for paper, and then you get... Anyway, he's right over here. What have you got for us this week, Xur? So he's got, I mean, like I said, nothing really fancy. Like, none of the necessities. There are cool guns to have, and then there are guns that you basically absolutely have to have. So there's cool stuff that's, yeah, it's fun to have it, but if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. And then there's stuff where it's like, if you don't have it, I'm sorry. Like Red Death. Red Death, I carry it with me all the time. It's a good weapon to have. And, I'll say this, Zala Supercell is another one, because it's this arc weapon in your primary slot. Anyway, so we've got the last word and Addendum, which seems to be coming up a lot this last couple of weeks. Here we go. Addendum is right over here. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. It looks pretty cool, but I'm more of a fan of the just default look. But you get this ornament. I don't even have it. Which, by the way, maybe I'll show you after I do this. Again, every now and then I'll show some other random edition at the end where you can get ornaments from. So, last word, like I said, I'm more of a Ace of Spades person. But this weapon has bonus accuracy while firing from the hip. I can see how it could have some advantages. Now that when I really think about it, you could just start shooting, spray and play, and you have decent aim from the hip. So it's probably, yeah, I could see that. Improves stability and target acquisition when firing from the hip. I'm not a big fire from the hip in Destiny. Warframe, on the other hand, yeah, I fire from the hip all the time. But then Warframe is third person, whereas Destiny is first person. So I don't know. I've tried doing more firing from the hip with Destiny. I should practice it more. But yeah, I can see how, now that I really think about it, I can see how this one really has some advantages. Especially like if you're in a crowd and you start open fire. Someone commented about it too, so yeah. I read the comments, so please school me. But yeah, last word. I don't know, it's not, like I said, it's not Red Death or Zalo Supercell, but it's good to have. Alright, next we have Truth and Prototype. So, Truth and Prototype. Not Heart of Gold, which is what... Oh, why do I even have this activated? Heart of Gold is what I call the Orokin ornament. Because if you play Warframe, you know the Orokin have this thing for gold. This looks like a weapon out of the Orokin era. Something that the Orokin would follow. Because they get a thing for gold. So I call this the ornament. No, you're not getting this one. You're getting Addendum. Which actually looks pretty cool. Now, this looks like the Corpus ornament because of all the technical stuff on it. Yeah, this looks like something Corpus would use. So you get that ornament, and then you have, so you got hard launch, more velocity and blast radius, Rounds fired from this weapon seek their targets aggressively. It's a void rocket launcher. I'll admit, and so I think I had to reclaim it because it's completely locked. Remember in Destiny, you have to unlock everything. Yeah. I think my whole appeal for truth was kind of lost a little when I was doing a Prison of the Elders run by myself, Challenge of the Elders solo, and that Cabal would just jump aside at the last moment and it would not get hit by truth. Right. So, but I hear it's a very good rocket launcher. Again, I like to use primary exotics because you have more ammo. So I tend to use the Hunger of Crota. This has tracking and cluster bombs. So I like rocket launchers. This doesn't have cluster bombs. Okay, it's got tracking, but it doesn't have cluster bombs. This is a legendary that has tracking and cluster bombs. Okay, it doesn't track aggressively, but it makes up for it in cluster bombs. So I think this was a raid weapon, Hunger of Crota. I think I got it from, it's been a while. I think I got this from Crota's End. But it's got cluster bombs and tracking, whereas Truth does not. But still, at the very least, I have said this before, pick up all the exotics because it builds your Grimoire score. And it gives you the blueprint. So if you get tired of Truth, you can just dismantle the Truth and reclaim it later. Right. So Truth. Next, we go to the next gun. Universal Remote. So Universal Remote is a shotgun in your primary slot. Okay? This weapon causes kinetic damage. Okay? Range and precision damage increases greatly while aiming down the sights. Kills with this weapon grant bonus damage for a short time. Alright. Universal Remote. Its range is still pretty lousy. The reason I know this is because I got Universal Remote as a drop first time I soloed a Nightfall, which was the Archon Priest that escapes from the Prison of Elders. And it's like the pod is in the middle. And then you have the Taken version of it. That was the first Nightfall I ever soloed. And I ran into the Dreadnought the moment I got this thing ridiculously excited. Now, it probably wasn't fully unlocked, which is why it didn't have that much of a range. So you probably want to fully unlock it to get this range and precision damage increases. Because when I first used it, clearly I didn't because it had lousy range. Still, it's pretty cool to have a shotgun that uses primary ammo. Yeah, so pick it up. It's actually pretty cool. I'm being mean to the Universal Remote. But on the other hand, I have a soft side for it because it's the first drop I ever got when I soloed a Nightfall, which never forgot that. Then I went on to Ibontis' channel and I was like, I did it. I actually soloed it. So yes, I've soloed stuff because of Ibontis. Okay. So Universal Remote, pick it up. Look, as I said, pick up all the exotics. Next we have the gear. So we've got the usual legendary Engram, legacy Engram, not worth the cost. Unless you have a lot of extra strange coins, not worth it. Or if you have everything here, like I basically have everything Xur sells. The only exotics I am missing are raid exotics. Otherwise, I've got everything. So I primarily pick up heavy ammo since when I have strange coins, I'm not going to waste. Look, the other problem with the legacy Engram is just dismantle. Once you get it, just dismantle it. You'll have the blueprint because I have limited space in my vault as it is. I have enough exotics sitting in my vault. I have so little space. So the last thing I want is to pick up a legacy Engram and try to find space for it. So that's the other reason I don't pick them up. I think it's overpriced. 29 strange coins for a year one armor piece that you probably will not be using. And that will take up space. So not a big fan of it. Anyway, next we have the glass house for the Titans. Blessing of Light and Weapons of Light last longer. Titans, I feel bad for you. I don't know. It feels... How much... You know, the funny thing, like I said last week, I've been playing Warframe. So it's like, Blessing of Light and Weapons of Light last longer. Last longer. So now I'm used to mods and other things where it's like 25% more critical chance. So now it's like, okay, So I expect it to be like Blessing of Light and Weapons of Light last 25% longer. So it's like, okay, so it lasts longer. How much does it last longer? Is it based on the conditions that you're under? Yeah, so now I'm kind of like disappointed. I'm like, lasts longer. How much longer? 2 seconds? That's still technically lasting longer, just not that much. So, Titans, how do you feel about the glass house? I will say it passes my Corpus helmet rule. I've already said this before. All right, if your helmet is bulkier than the Corpus helmet, it's too big. The Corpus helmet is the basic max you can go before your helmet is too big. And they probably have a HUD on the inside, which is why it makes it a lot easier for them. But if your helmet is bigger than the Corpus helmet, it's too big. This is actually smaller. So, I don't know. It's just, I think the fact that it's just lasts longer makes it feel underwhelming. But Titans, tell me, does it actually make a significant difference? Like, is it last longer as in 2 seconds or last longer as in twice as long? So, I don't know. I said, too much modding in Warframe right now. Next we have the ATS/8 Tarantella for the hunters. All right. Now, first off, that does look pretty cool. Take reduced arc damage from minions of the darkness. Arc grenades and arc blade recharge faster. I have not used this very often, but it's great when you have arc burn. Interesting that it's only for arc burn. As I've said before, I tend to use Celestial Nighthawk and Frosties. But yeah, this is a good one to have. So you take less damage from arc damage. So it's really great when you have arc burn because, yeah, they can be nasty. Your arc grenades and arc blade recharge faster. So there was so I go through phases when I run different elemental types, and there was a time where I was just nonstop blade dancer. Reminds me a little of the Raiden Flux in Destiny 2, a little, which is amazing even to this day. I know I'm using the same exact exotic in Destiny 2 that I have used since practically launch, which is the Raiden Flux. But that thing, like, doubles the length of your super. My super, when I get my super up in Destiny 2, just wipes things out. The thing just doesn't stop. Which is probably why I like the Oma in Warframe. It reminds me of that. So, yeah, this is decent. Pick it up, hunters. It looks pretty cool. I think I might use it more. I might play some Destiny 1 this weekend. Anyway. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's not too egregious. Some of the stuff that they have, I will admit, I don't know how anybody uses out on the field. We're like, how can you wear that chest piece? Anyway, Claws of Ahamkara for the Warlocks. Look at all this life. Oh, bear in mind, there is so much left to burn. Okay, I like that. Gain an additional charge for all Warlock charged melees. Wow, that sucks. Okay, again, I only played Warlock for the self-res, so maybe I'm being mean, but you gain an additional charge for Warlock charged melees. This feels like Frosties from Wish. I've used this joke before when they're like, when you tell your mom you want Fallout, and she says you have like Fallout at home and it's cheap. Yeah. Gain an additional melee charge. Feels like a cheap Frosties. Because Frosties is you gain a turn or height or turn radius, faster grenade, and melee regeneration. So it's not just one more. It's the more you run, the more you get. This feels disappointing. I guess, me going on a tangent, I guess one of the biggest things is since I've been playing so much Warframe and all the weapons are so ridiculously overpowered, it's like now when I look at Destiny's exotics, I'm kind of disappointed. Where it's like even the most basic, simple weapon in Warframe is top tier exotic in Destiny. You're like, okay, so you get an additional melee charge. Okay, yeah, I have the Archiplasmor, and that's pretty kick-ass, so, I guess that's one of the big problems. I've been playing Warframe a lot these last couple of weeks, so I'm looking at it now through the eyes of someone who's played a lot of Warframe, I'm like, okay, that's kind of sad. But let me know in the comments. Am I being mean to warlocks? I tend to be mean to warlocks. I am sorry, warlocks. But Ikora just... No. I wonder if she holds meetings with the warlocks where half of them fall asleep. Because she goes off on some spiritual tangent that everyone's like, we're guardians. We're here to kick butt. Anyway. So, that is what Xur's got this week. I will show you where you can get silver dust from, just to make... So, how to get silver dust and where to get ornaments. So, first off, you can see I have 196. I barely spend it. Silver dust can be spent at the... Oh, the amount of... The funny thing is, when silver dust first came out, people were pissed. And the funny thing is now when you look, seriously, you look at the monetization in Destiny 2, and then you look at the things that people got mad about before, and it's like, wow. Like, I just remember people getting pissed about silver dust. So, and it's like, you just watch. All right. So silver dust, you have the silver dust vendor over here. So there's the post, which I always have maxed out. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I think I have another one already. Lord of... Access silver dust store. So the silver dust you can use to buy ornaments, engrams, House of Judgment reputation boosters. Vanguard boosters, chroma, sparrows, shaders. You remember when you had horns for your sparrow? Yes. This is the festival of the dawning year. Before we had cookies, those cookies. I have not done anything dawning, okay? I am sick to death of Destiny cookies, okay? Didn't even log in for it, okay? So sparrow horns, okay? Ornaments, you name it, emotes, you get it all here. So, silver dust. Silver dust, first off, you get silver dust from dismantling stuff. So, for example, I'll get silver dust if I dismantle each one of these, but I don't want to do that. I don't have the Touch of Malice, but I don't want to dismantle it. You get silver dust from dismantling, I think you got it from, let's see what happens. I think you got them from Days of Iron ornaments. Yeah, I got 1 silver dust for that. You get, I think, 5, see, dismantle for 5 silver dust. Another way you get silver dust is, okay, so you can buy these mystery boxes here, the Treasure of Ages boxes, but you can also earn them for free. So, Treasure of Ages boxes sometimes, here, let's go to orbit. Treasure of Ages boxes will either give you ornaments, they'll give you cosmetics, they will sometimes give you silver dust as well. You can do them for free, which is why it's funny to think that people got so mad about silver dust when now you go to the Destiny 2 store and you have $20 armor sets. No, my Guardian looks fine. I don't need that. So, for example, you have over here, the first time, so you have weekly story playlist, which, bring that back. The first time you run a weekly story playlist mission, you will get a Treasure of Ages box and 20 legendary marks. You can do it up to 5 times. The first time you'll get the Treasure of Ages box, the remaining 4 times you will get legendary marks. You can actually get up to 35 legendary marks because they still have, before the weekly story playlist, you had a daily story playlist. I remember it vividly. And sometimes by chance, when you do the weekly story playlist, you get what would have been the daily story playlist mission as well. So you could get up to 35 legendary marks. You run a Mayhem Rumble Crucible match. You'll get a Treasure of Ages box. So that's 2. You run a Siva Crisis Heroic Strike. You do 1, you get another one. So that's 3. You don't get one from the Nightfall. You don't get one from the... I haven't picked up the sigil from Varix. So you can get up to 3 Treasure of Ages boxes a week. It refreshes every Tuesday morning. You can get them. So that's primarily how you can get silver dust. You then, some of the ornaments are just ugly. So you look at it and you're like, okay, might as well just dismantle the ornament. I don't know why I kept the Orkin one, probably just to show it off and be like, yeah, I have the Orkin rocket launcher ornament. So that is how you get silver dust. You have to go to Varix over here to unlock in the Vestian outpost. Okay? So, again, it's so funny to think that people got so pissed over silver dust. And now we have people going, yeah, $20 for an armor set. No problem. I don't mind that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm still one of the last people left on the internet continuing with the original Destiny content. And I still love original Destiny. It is by far my favorite. I also play Warframe. So that's my Xbox account. I now can play Warframe on every console and platform. PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, because my accounts were merged. Thank you, DE, for doing it right. Hint, hint. Bungie. They merged my entire account. All of my accounts. So I was playing on multiple accounts. Merged. So now I can play everywhere. But this is my Xbox. Feline Revolution is my PlayStation. Thank you for watching.